I had paid for his course. When do I get this video call with you? Like, when does this start? He's like, oh, your program doesn't start until we do your video call.
And Big Boy sent his fucking goons to Rich Piana's house when he wasn't home. Him and Sarah, I think they were married at the time. He sent his fucking goons to the house. And in the house, his dogs were there, Sarah's dogs were there, and there was a kid watching the dogs. They tied up the fucking kid.
From gaining popularity from the alpha male mindset and lifestyle to being revealed and inhumanely exposed for the unauthentic intentions within the make money online niche and the influencer lifestyle.
Cullinan, you're tripping. You gotta have the full lounging captain's chairs, the ice box in the back, and the fold-out TVs with the trays. You guys are buying the wrong one with the bench back seat. We call it the bitch back seat. Now we got the Maybach, the 2022. This thing only has probably 200 miles on it. I can't even drive it because I put too big of rims on it. Got the 24-inch Forgiatos on the Maybach. It's the nicest. This has the best interior I'm gonna show you later of any vehicle. The Maybach does. You gotta get the white interior on the Maybach. So the lighting contrasts against the white. You guys who get the black interior, it just don't look the same, it don't pop. Can't get the basketball interior either. You gotta get the white.
Big Boy and Wes Watson are currently sitting as one of the most viral homosexual transgenders after accidentally leaking the one-on-one sword fight porn video in hopes to replicate the Kim K and Ray J scene to hopefully make a viral scene for themselves to get attention they thirst for, like the two hardcore Taylor Swift fans that probably carry around a toolbox full of dildos sized up collections.
Here at Kratos Gym, we're getting ready for IPL Worlds on Sunday, meeting the homie Gino.
These two really have the double-edged sword to their necks for their fake lifestyles, which they deemed being the lifestyle which makes them better than everyone else, which initially opened up doors to their life for the media to keep an eye on them and eventually expose their imperfections and lies they had put out to the media, in which they made loads of money and scammed loads of innocent people in search to improve their lives by trusting a bald-headed who has a body of a Greek god but a penis of an Asian man. In this video, I'll be going in depth of why these two monkeys have been absolutely butt raped by the whole of social media. So stick at the end cause their story just keeps getting worse, and please make sure you check out the two past videos in depth of the two homosexual bartenders individually. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe to Titan Physique, as you know I provide the best of the best content in the field of fitness drama, so please support. And shout out to Baba for paving the way for these two clowns. But yeah, let's get into the video. Starting off with the one and only Fat Boy. Bro is so fat, his ass cheeks cause an earthquake when he farts due to the vibration of the excess skin blood has between them ass cheeks. But enough with the joking, but Big Boy was born in San Clemente, California, and his real name is Jake Johns, and he claims that he grew up in a real life hood as a Mexican kid. This statement is completely false, as bro was exposed that he wasn't really Mexican despite his representation to the Mexican culture, and never actually grew up in the hood, as San Clemente is a calm place which doesn't have that much crime compared to the rough areas in the Mexican communities.
Big girl, that's who does, because he wants to be hard. He wants to be gangster. Let me tell you a little bit more about this gangster. This gangster grew up in San Clemente, right next to the beach. This wasn't no rough ass city, Ricky.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It was beautiful. Fucking beautiful. I didn't see one rough part of San Clemente. Then I come to find out, this guy didn't grow up rough. He ain't from no barrio. He ain't from no fucking hood. This fool grew up in a mansion, a 4,000 square foot house, with his mama and stepdaddy. You know what I'm saying? God dang, are you kidding me? You're putting on this thug, I come from the hood, this, that, reform this. Homie, you weren't none of that. What is wrong with your fucking brain?
And if that wasn't obvious on Fat Boy not being from the hood, take a look at bro's name. His name is Jake Johns. Like, no offense to those who actually are about that life and have that name, but who in their goofy Quandle Dingle Sylvester talking band in the backrooms world is named Jake Johns and looks like this, bruh? And claims he's 100% gangster. Like, bro looks like one of those bus drivers posted up in downtown New York that clock off to work, get home, and beat the shit to Dora Explorer behind the couch while his siblings are watching that shit. But enough trolling. Big Boy overall was a wannabe gangster, whereby he would hang around the wrong people to validate himself that he was one of the bad boys and not just some average fat kid that got his butt crack sticking out when walking in public. So Big Boy took part in home invasion, in which his bad homies called him to be their side chick, so that after securing the needed goods, they could call in Mr. Jake Jones and spread his cheeks and leave them cream the fuck out later. The home invasion scene didn't go as planned and Big Boy was arrested for that. Big Boy claims that he had done quote unquote 10 years in prison, but recently got exposed for doing less than that. Big Girl gets a message from the GOAT Rich Piana on if he was down to be part of 5% Nutrition, in which he confirmed. Big Boy revealed himself that he wanted control and decided to leave 5% Nutrition to start his own brand, Strength Cartel. And recently, the whole story that Big Boy left 5% to start his own thing was entirely wrong, as an old affiliate of Rich Piana exposed the truth that Big Boy was planning to sell anabolic steroids within the brand. And Rich Piana denied, and led to the raging anger within Big Boy from rejection of control Big Boy wanted, and went full flash to destroy Rich Piana's brand by trashing his home and manipulating his bird brain girlfriend Sarah to steal from Rich to help Big Boy's Strength Cartel merchandise win over 5% in the market.
Goes back to when Big Boy say that Rich dropped him for him selling merchandise. Rich didn't drop him for selling merchandise. He didn't drop him for selling merchandise. Me and Rich had a conversation about that. He told me that he let him go with a text close to 3 o'clock in the morning. Because he was, and I ain't gonna say allegedly, because Rich didn't like the fact that he was at the booth trying to move gear. So if we gonna say and keep on lying to the peoples on why he got dropped, that Rich didn't want to see him grow, it's total bullshit. It's total bullshit.
That I've known about for a long time, and I didn't think it was the right time to tell it. But now, seeing this, I'm going to give a warning out to Sticks, because he thinks Big Boy's a poser and everything like that. Maybe you think he is, but I know for a fact the fucking crazy shit he's fucking done to Rich, who was his mentor and his person that he looked up to and started him up. So let's get into this now. So him and Rich got into a beef with each other, and for whatever reason, I don't know the reason as to why they had a falling out, but they had a falling out, and it was a bad one. And Big Boy sent his fucking goons to Rich Piana's house when he wasn't home. Him and Sarah, I think they were married at the time. He sent his fucking goons to the house, and in the house, his dogs were there, Sarah's dogs were there, and there was a kid watching the dogs. They tied up the fucking kid, all right, in the chair for hours, while they robbed everything in Rich's house. They took his steroids, his drugs, his cash. They even tried to take the fucking safe he had in there. And then they tried to fucking blame Sarah, saying she's a fucking thief. Now, people on the inside know about this story, but it's never been told online. And the reason why I think it's important to say is because you want to call Big Boy a poser. I ain't calling him a poser because, listen, man, even if he doesn't do this shit on his own, he's sending fucking people to fuck with you. I mean, Sticks, I would take it as a fucking warning. Look what he did to fucking Rich Piana, and I'm posting these pictures so you guys can see it. If he's willing to go to a fucking person's house, tie up a fucking poor kid watching little doggies.
Fast forward 8 years later, and these actions came flying back to him like a boomerang. And one of his closest partners, Pitbull, left Strength Cartel and to start his own brand, in which Big Boy got really mad about. The exact same thing he did to Rich Piana, and apparently Big Boy lied on Pitbull secretly leaving the brand to start his own brand, and that Big Boy had revealed his unauthentic side of him, in which he wouldn't invest in his own affiliates but only thought of himself, which led to Pitbull leaving. But Big Boy tried to cover it up as if Pitbull was the problem, to somehow keep the internet away from knowing that his brand Strength Cartel was falling apart.
Keep grinding. I don't go to LA for a while until I want to say I didn't hit another expo with them. We quit going to expos after that. I guess Fake Cartel was going broke, and I'm not really too sure because he stopped paying for all the homies. He started shortening all of our packages that would come to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they did a shoot in Cali, the homies would get some clothes. I'd get a package. I would miss like the main unit, the top and bottom. I'd get some shirts, no hats. I'm like, homie, what's going on with my packages, bro? Y'all going broke, or like what's going on? Like, I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting. Or, oh, my bad, homie. Da, da, da. So anyway, I kept it real. I understood. Of course, I knew my shit was gonna crack, so I just started selling that shit. You know what I mean? I didn't want to wear it and wash it, and the next thing you know, you get 2 washes and then it'd be messed up. So,
and the story goes on and on. For more detail, watch the full video on Big Boy. Link in the description. Please watch it after the video, not right now, but link in the description. And the man you've been waiting for, Wes Watson. This man is a loser, y'all. Bro literally paid to have an IG baddie pretend to be his girlfriend. I bet you bro gets so cock-blocked by her from getting those cheeks to an extent that Wes has to bash his meat behind the closet as fast as possible while he watches her come out of the shower and put on a bra. Matter of fact, bro can't even beat his meat. That motherfucker got so shriveled it vanished in thin air. Bro, shit is so small, even the local Asians couldn't believe that they had an elite competitor. But okay, when Fine Shit looks at bros downstairs, she goes, is it a penis? Is it a vagina? Wait, it's non-existent. Blood could be on the international TV to document the first ever gender to ever exist. So comment down below what this channel would be called, associated under Wes Watson's Unexisted. So for more detail, check out the video on the description after watching this video, because you'll miss out, just after watching this video, because you're gonna miss out on the good stuff. But overall, Wes Watson, for those who do not know, was an ex-convict who apparently faced 10 years in prison. After being released in prison, he began his YouTube channel, which would bag a crazy amount of views of his storytelling of how he would be gang raped and forced to perform 6ix9ine under the cafeteria table to see how big his balls are. But okay, that didn't really actually happen, but you get the gist.
And then they finally take you from that cell and they move you to your actual cell. Now you're in your actual cell by yourself. You're gonna be in that actual cell. This is reception right when you get to prison. Everybody asks about what the first day is like in prison. This is it. You roll up to reception, you hop in that little cell with everyone till you're booked, and then you go into your personal cell, and you're in your personal cell for 2 fucking weeks without seeing nobody. You're just chilling in there by yourself. They're just fucking seeing what's going on till they figure out who the fuck you are and where you're going. I remember my first tray in there. It was a chicken fucking enchiladas, and they had green sauce, and all I knew is I ate that shit and I said, I'm gonna put on some fucking size right now because this shit was real food. In the pen, there's real food. In the county, it's that janky ass, cheap ass shit. And I just was like, okay, I'm about to put some size on. I'm gonna put the work in now. We got the food going. So I was pumped at that point. But being in that cell for 2 weeks by myself, someone drew a big old SpongeBob fucking on the wall right there and said, "Who lives in a pineapple under the sea?" And I'm just thinking, look at this fucking crazy motherfucker who drew this shit, you know? About 2 weeks later, they finally they get my custody level, they figure out who the fuck I am, my crimes and everything, and they send me to 17 block. Switch off morning, night, whatever. So then you would have your breakfast, you start getting ready for yard. Every fucking time you go out to yard in the shoe, you're bringing something you shouldn't be bringing. You're hooping something. I tell my cellie, hey, gangster that shit. We call it gangstering that shit when you hoop that shit. To just acquire. People are trying to acquire instead of be. Do you want to become strong or do you just want to appear to be? I really just want to be what I appear to be and not be a fucking fraud. So a successful person has a set of principles that makes them successful, not just that they have money. A lot of people have money. It doesn't mean they're successful, but their principles do show they're successful. So yeah, I might see the money at first, but then I want to see the principles. I want to know where it really came from, where the origin was. And the origin being these same principles that go across the board. I mean, the consistency, the dedication, the fortitude, everything that makes a man, you know, for life. Like, I'm never getting out. And from that day, I didn't see freedom for 10 fucking years.
So what was the process you went through as far as once you got arrested and like, you know, arraignment and all that? Did you go to trial or was it a plea deal?
I took my shit to trial.
Okay.
Why did I take my shit to trial? Because I had the joint suspension of 5 years out of Orange County for the sales case. So now, they tried to offer me a low ass deal in San Diego County. Now San Diego County wouldn't run the case concurrently with Orange County. So and Orange County is known for picking you up at the gate and making you do the joint suspension. Like they'll do that. Like you'll do your 5 that they offered me over here. They were offering me basically what I got. The 5 over here, and I still owed 5 over here. Okay. So regardless, by going to trial and losing, I got about the same as I would have just signed for.
Okay.
But if they would have ran it concurrently, I would have took it. But they weren't saying they would.
Fast forward 4 years later, Wes Watson went bald like Andrew Tate and aimed to adopt the alpha male perception. This persona adoption didn't go well as Wes overdid it by bragging way too much about the glory of his lifestyle and claiming his program could make anyone a millionaire in 3 years. His ego went out of hand to an extent of verbally assaulting a man at the Fresh and Fit podcast on his lack of physical fitness and scamming his customers.
Who cares? We're doing this now. So I had paid for his course. I had done like a couple weeks of like filling out these fucking apps and sending him my workouts, and I would just get back once a day, once every couple of days. Good job, brother. Keep it up. Let's get after it. Don't like very like automated messages almost. And so after a few weeks, I was just like, hey bro, so I've been doing this stuff for a couple of weeks now. When do I get this video call with you? Like, when does this start? He's like, oh, your program doesn't start until we do your video call. And I was just like, oh, when can we set that up, brother? He's just like, he sends me a screenshot of his calendar, pick a day. One of the days that he had available was my birthday. So I'm just like, fucking, let's do this. This is a good birthday present. Now, July 31st. Yeah, and the time was like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. So I'm all excited. I'm telling my friends, bro, I got this meeting. I'm excited, you know.
You know the funny thing is, the older you get, the less you give a fuck.
Yeah. Not this year, man. I was excited for it this time.
I remember you were stoked.
Wes would get exposed for renting his lifestyle and living in someone's home. And has been also renting his internet wifey to put an act that she's the queen of Wes Watson. But this whole time he was clapping thin air. And if he did sleep with her, what is intercourse if you don't really like the person? And it's overall a hell on earth once the post-nut clarity hits and you're just like, fuck, what am I fucking doing with my life? Look at this ugly ass bitch. I'm not saying she's ugly, but you get the gist. And to make things worse, Watson would brag on being 6 foot. Someone came he ran away, and Wes also bragged that he could beat anyone known in Earth, even if it meant fighting Nate Diaz. He gets a one-on-one challenge, he accepts it, sets a location, but then cheats and calls his goons, the professional gooners, to help fight for him, also with weapons on top. You know, guys, this is one of the most craziest cases of male camel toe activity. Bro literally has a hanging brown burnt clitoris up his vajayjay. Like, I have no other words for such pajama sisters behavior. All I can say is that Big Boy and Wes Watson are literally, they're not coming out of this. They're not gonna come back out of this backfire. But if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and if this video hits at least 300 likes, I will be leaking the one-on-one sword fight of Big Girl and Western Butthole in semen tape in a disclosed Reddit account. Link will be shared to those who DM me, so stay tuned for the next video. Peace.
Bye, have a great time.